Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. In this video I'm going to show you my hunt and actual purchase of a reasonably priced new PC system. As you'll see, it's going to cost me around £700. Now there's a couple of reasons I'm doing this. My current PC, the PC I'm flying on recording this video, and the PC I've recorded the majority of my videos on, is now just simply aging, and it's dragging my experience of Flight Sim down a little. I'm going to recap quickly what I have in this current PC. It's a GTX 1060. Is that right? GTX? No, it's a 1060 GPU with 6GB. It's a Ryzen 5 1600AF processor, which is actually great bang for the buck. That's the best part of this PC. And 16GB of RAM. I'll link a video down below of how I showed how I can make the sim look good on my current PC system, the PC I'm using now. It's just with times, especially when I'm live streaming or I jump into a complex airliner like the 146 Professional, my frames can drop badly and it can drag my PC down. Now as you can see, the settings I've got in the sim, I'm in London, this is World Update 17 London, doesn't look half bad, does it? It can get away with it. But I've got to temper, oh, as you can see, a bit of stutter there. I've got to temper my settings in the sim. Go and look at the video I've linked down below in the description. That goes into my settings in more details. I can't push those settings up much more, especially when I'm live streaming or recording. Can just drag my system down. So I'm desperately in need of a new PC. With Flight Sim 2024 coming out as well, I well expect that the recommendations for PC are going to be pushed up with the release of that, especially considering ray tracing, that type of thing. I don't think my PC is going to cut it. That's one reason. Another reason is that a number of people are saying, you know, that on Xbox they would love to get into PC flight simming, but they don't want to drop a small fortune, you know, £2.5 grand, £1.5 grand on a PC. Well, I'm hopefully going to show you, you don't need to go to that kind of expense to get good performance, 1080p, 1440p performance from PC Microsoft Flight Sim. The PC I bought and should be arriving at the time of recording this video, should be arriving today for me, should give you a good solid performance with a reasonable price tag. So that's £700 roughly price tag. We'll have to see what happens. I'm going to get my new PC, I'm going to be testing it, I'm hopefully going to be showing you it in this video and show you the performance, that type of thing. Okay, that's enough of an intro, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so let's talk about my hunt for the gaming PC, my quest to get a reasonably priced gaming PC, ideally for the same price near enough that I paid for my old system, my 1060 computer, although I did upgrade the CPU, paid just over £700 maybe all in for that. Ideally I wanted the same thing. I did go on Google to search gaming PCs. Eventually I came across this site, which I never heard of until recently, Audit, AWDIT. I like to call it Audit because I've got some accounting qualifications. That was my main profession at one time. I still do accounting every now and again. But auditit.co.uk, came across this, looked at a couple of their systems, but Currently, at the time of recording this video, they've got a summer sale on. This may be over by the time you watch it, just be aware of that. But I clicked on that summer sale. What can I pick up for a bargain? Look, straight away, 3060 12GB graphics card. Just under £600. That's brilliant. And it's obviously marked down from over £600 there because it's on a summer sale. Saved 10%. Clicked on it and I thought, that's not bad. I ideally want the latest version of the RTX, the 4000 series or the 40 series graphics cards. But you know, I've heard good things about the 3060. I thought, if I can upgrade the motherboard, I'll go for this. Unfortunately, with this build, this particular one, you've got to go with that default budget motherboard. It only has room for one M2 drive. And even my current system, I can stick a couple of M2 hard drives into that. With this one, you can't, just one. And I thought, no, shame. If I could upgrade that, I might have gone with that. So I went back. Summer sale. What else can I buy? I really wanted a 40 series. Then I saw this, the 4060. Not the best of the 40 series graphics card, the 4060, but not bad. 4649. I thought, that's not bad. What's that? Save 28%. Look, you can see the price there, what it was. I clicked on it. Again, I looked at the motherboard. I don't want the budget motherboard. I want one with more expandability. And you can change it with this. So I clicked on that. Yeah, it adds another £50 on top of it. But with this motherboard, what I did, I actually called the audit. AWDIT. You go on the homepage, they've got a contact and it's got a telephone number. They answered within a few minutes. The chap who answered was very helpful. It was you, my friend, if you're watching this, who convinced me to buy one of your PCs and convinced me to record this part. I want to promote this company. Hopefully the PC is as good as the customer service. Excellent customer service. He answered my questions. I asked about the motherboard. I even googled the motherboard to make sure that I can put a couple of M2 drives in there. You can indeed. Asked him, he said, yep, you can. I told him what M2 drive I want to put in. He said, yep, that's not going to be no problem. And it's got further expandability. If I want another graphics card in the future, I want to upgrade that graphics card to a 4080 perhaps, I can slot it in there. Probably have to upgrade the power supply as well. It's only got a basic power supply, but bronze rated. Seems okay. But upgrade that to something like this perhaps if I'm going to go for a bigger, higher power graphics card. Not at the moment. I want to keep the price down, still under £700. The price is right. There's one more thing I wanted to upgrade, which is the RAM. These days, really, you want to go with 32 gigabytes of RAM. So with this, I just went here, 2 times 16 gigabytes, and that was enough for me. And the final price was $734. Not quite. I've got a coupon app here, and I got a further £7 off that. So I bought this already, I paid for it. 727 roughly, ran about that price I paid for it. That is the ideal price. That's the price I paid for my current system. I'm going to get a lot more bang from my buck from this system. Better CPU, definitely better graphics card. Let's talk about the 4060. It's not the best received graphics card. When it came out, people were moaning that, you know, it's only got 8 gigabytes of RAM on it. Ideally, it should really have had 12 at the minimum. Games, generally, I'm buying this for flight sim purposes, keep that in mind. But other games, you know, they're already suggesting 12 gigabytes currently, and that's going to go up in the future. I can worry about that in future years. In flight sim terms, I've watched a video, which I'll link down below in the description. A guy did a test on the 4060 graphics card. He was running flight sim in some cases in 4K at 40 to 50 frames. I'm not looking to run this at 4K. My sweet spot will be 1440p. With this system, I'm going to get away with 1440p. I know that, and I know that from researching various videos, at high or ultra graphics. Maybe able to even dabble in VR to somewhat. I'll have to turn some of the graphics down with this system. It's not the most ideal graphics card, it could be better. There is a 4060 Ti variant, but you're paying a lot more for that, at 16GB I believe. You know what, I'll worry about that in the future. I just wanted to spend around this price, which I have. I paid for it. And it's going to be mainly for playing simply on a monitor, but I will be dabbling with VR. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to await the system. Looking forward to getting it. It's a big upgrade from what I own at the moment. And we'll just await the PC, and I'll let you know how it goes. Now, my new PC has just arrived. I'm going to talk about the exceptional packaging it came in and the way it was packaged in a moment, because it really was very good from when it came to me. Big box and the PC and other stuff inside it, which is probably pretty common these days. But let me just tell you, I ordered this on Wednesday the 24th of July. It arrived today at the time of recording this. It's Tuesday the 30th of July. That's 6 days from ordering the PC. I was expecting it. They were saying 5 to 6 days build time. You can do a next day delivery, but that's more expensive. I just went with the standard delivery to keep the cost down. And I was expecting it at the end of this week, but it arrived today, which is brilliant. Now, it comes in a big box, you can see there with branding AWDIT in the box, so from audit.co.uk. The PC was inside that big box, and things like the motherboard, as you can see there, boxes for the RAM in case you ever want to replace that and then sell the old one, cables, looks like HDMI cable maybe, the graphics card box, so if I ever replace the graphics card, I can stick the 4060 back in the box. Certainly not meaning to. Hopefully going to get a good few years out of that. And came with all this sort of bubble wrap packaging, protecting all the parts. And this goes on forever. There's reams of this stuff. Let's get that back over there. So if I ever want to package that back up or package something up, I can use that. Yeah, if I ever need to send something off, which is brilliant. So there you go, it's probably pretty standard. I was quite impressed with it, with the packaging. My old PC just came in a box and it thankfully worked straight away, but it wasn't the best packaging. This, from what I've seen, is excellent. I'll unbox the PC itself, turn it on, install what I need to install. Next time I come back, I'll be showing you how it performs. Okay, my friends, performance test with my latest PC. It's already doubling the frames that I got from my old system, which is maybe not too surprising, but I've got higher settings set up as well. Look at that. MSI Afterburner, over 80 frames there at London City Airport, version 2 Orbix, the latest UK and Ireland world update, and Orbix GB South, live weather, live server. Let me just quickly show you, well actually let's just get up in the air, then I'll show you the settings. Just so you can gauge the performance. In the cockpit, still over 80 frames. I've had that frame counter go up over 100 over downtown London, which is not bad. Somewhat settling between 60 and 80 it looks like, which is not bad. Like I said, that's double the performance from my old system. But I'll show you the settings in a moment and show you one of the reasons why it's doing that as well. So there we go, just bring that throttle back, keep an eye on the frame counter there, as I'm doing as well in the top left, 60 there, 65, 71. Smooth performance with those settings. Oh, right, okay, settings, let's show you. General options. Full screen, 1080p. I've only got a 1080p monitor. I do mean, and I've always wanted a 1440p. I believe that's the sweet spot for PC. 1440p monitor in the future, but that'll be in the future. Anti-aliasing, TAA, I believe that's the best. I can go to super resolution. I just don't like the look of it. Doesn't seem to make a great difference. In fact, why not? Let's just put it on balance. On my system, I am somewhat CPU tied, as you can see. Look at the frames again. They're not really that much difference. Maybe a little bit more with that, but I don't like the way it displays text in the cockpit. So, you know, I can get away with TAA for around the same frames, so I keep it on there. Frame gen on. This is the big thing with the RTX 40 series graphics cards. It can kind of double your frames. I'll show you a comparison in just a moment. But I just reset to default and it resets everything to high. DirectX 11. I can do DirectX 12. But it's just defaulted to DirectX 11 for the moment. Everything else on high. I've turned motion blur off because I don't like that and left everything else alone. I turned up terrain level of detail. This was on 100 on high settings. I've turned it up to 150. Objects level of detail, let's turn that down a wee bit. And we can apply and save that. Don't worry about saying it's got to restart. It's because I messed around with the DirectX options. Look at that. That's higher settings that I use with my old PC. And I'm doubled the frames there. There's London. Well, this is live weather. It's not looking too bad at the moment, so we get a decent view of London. What I do want to show you is what happens when we turn frame gen off. So off, apply and save, go back, resume. Now, I'm still getting between 40, well it's going down to 30s there, but maybe 40 to 50 frames once it settles down. But as you can see, frame gen really boosts your system there, or boosts your frames. And it doesn't seem to affect the performance from what I found in Flight Sim. Oh, it's gone to DirectX 12 there. Well, maybe that's just the way MSI Afterburner is displaying it. It's actually DirectX 11 that I believe in the sim. So there you go. We're settling still around mid-40s. It's roughly that performance is what I got from my old PC. But I've got higher settings set up here. And it would perhaps struggle a little bit, my old PC, with live weather over this region. So not too bad, but of course, if you got frame gen, you got a latest 40 series graphics card, use it. And look at the frames. Like I said, I've seen that. There you go over 100 frames, downtown London. Oh my goodness me. Okay, well that's high settings, but we can push this a little bit further. Let's just go back to general options. Let's see. Ultra. Keep VSync on for now. It put terrain's level of details to 200. With this, I'm best turning it down to 100, which is pretty much the default value with high settings. But this is now ultra settings. Look, I'm leaving the rest on ultra. Apart from motion blur, I'll turn that off. Apply and save. Go back. Resume. 70 frames in ultra settings. Doesn't feel quite as smooth in ultra settings, but it looks incredible. Look at that. Ultra settings, over 80 frames, right over the busiest part, the most detailed city in the sim. It's got the highest dem, London. So arguably the most detailed scenery in the sim as it stands at this date. Over 60 frames there. I'm not going to complain. It might stutter here because it does around this part. It did on my old PC, a little bit of a judder. Maybe not. It might still do that. Let's just clear up that weather. Don't worry about the flow wheel. I've been messing with a few programs. Maybe I'll do a video of that in the future. Few clouds. We can see more of London. It seems the frames dropped a little bit there. Still ultra settings. Let it settle down. I can get over 60 frames for sure. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll have to turn something else down there. But still over 50 frames, which is surpassed my old PC in ultra settings. I can typically get 60 frames around here. I've had Flight Sim running for a few hours now. Maybe I just need to rest it for a little bit, or rest my graphics card. But that's a good test as well. I've had it running probably for the past couple of hours. I've recorded this video a couple of times. I wasn't happy with the volume settings. I've had to play around with that. It's a new PC. Bit of a stutter. I always get it roughly around this part. And ultra settings does look beautiful, of course. I just kind of, for me, and I'm still playing with this, reset to default, continue. I'll put frame gen back on. Leave VSync on. It doesn't seem to really affect too much. Put this back to 150, terrain level of detail. We'll turn motion blur off. Where is it? There. Apply and save, go back, resume. That to me almost looks as good as ultra settings. It kind of looks as good, doesn't it? But I just get a much smoother performance. So zooming around externally there, internally as you can see, frames they're going back towards that 100 mark. So there you go, people. That's my new PC in action. Now, do I recommend you go out and buy this PC if you're on Xbox or you own an older PC like I had? Well, I still have it, in fact. Do I recommend you go out and buy an equivalent cost PC around £700 or the equivalent in your currency? If you want to get into the PC hemisphere and you're on Xbox, yes, I do recommend this. Listen, I'm running this at 1080p at the moment. I can go up to 1440p, I've no doubt. With the settings I've got set up here, I should be getting between 50 and 60 frames. And I've seen videos, I've researched videos. I think I'm going to be fine at 1440p. It's the sweet spot I want to be at. And generally people say it's the sweet spot for flight simming. You're going to get into the PC hemisphere, the PC industry in Microsoft Flight Sim. So all the toys you can play with, head tracking, Toby, I've got to install that as well, haven't I? Virpil flight sticks, you know, the high-end flight sticks, the multi-panel stuff, all the mods you can use on Flight Sim on PC as well, and obscene, you know, some programs simply won't work on Xbox. So when new aircraft get released, for the moment at least, it's on PC first. You know, yeah, I don't need to tell you all that. There's things people want PC for, VATSIM, that type of thing. This is a good PC that's not going to break the bank. If you've got a piece more money, you can jump up to the 4070 perhaps, or one of the AMD GPUs. I'm sure people will be commenting in the comments saying you should have got this, you should have got that. This is what I wanted to spend, £700, and look at the performance. Look how it looks in the sim, in the most detailed area in the sim to date. That is absolutely brilliant. So yes, I do recommend this, and it's not going to cost you much more than your Series X, for example, cost you in the first place. If you're on an older PC, the performance is a bit subpar. Look what I'm getting here. I can even use VR, and I'll do an upcoming video. I don't want to say too much about that at the moment, but I've got a VR headset that I'm testing. It can even perform in VR, but I've got to do more tests on that. But there you go, people. Those are my recommendations. That's my video on my latest and greatest PC to date. For me, at least. Do let me know your thoughts on the video. Are you contemplating and tempted to get into PC flight simming? This could be your gateway. Let me know your thoughts. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll be seeing you soon.